Hi, good day, it's me, Jaycee, and welcome to Robot Show Tunes, my very own YouTube channel where I get to review Transformers toys, Voltus 5 toys, Macross Robotech toys, Evangelion toys, and just about whatever else I may fancy. And in today's episode, I'll finally be taking an in-depth look at Medicom Toys Mafex, or Mafex number 080, a figure of EVA Unit 1 as seen in the movie You Cannot Advance. That's Evangelion, You Cannot Advance. Now for this and other way cool stuff, visit anotoys.com. So, here is the box. Front, back, side, other side, top, bottom, and just take a look at these cool inner walls. Now let's take a look at what you get inside. So inside the box you get the main figure. You get this alternate head with the open mouth detail. To replace the head, you gently twist it off this ball peg and twist the head of choice back on. Steady the neck. It's a loose joint, so there. You get this enormous Gatling gun. This turns 360, and it has this removable drum magazine with detailed bullets inside, sculpted in. You get this smaller pallet gun, this prog knife, this alternate shoulder pylon with a molded in prog knife, which you can attach on either shoulder. Just twist this default one out. Let's see, gently, steady, there. Actually, the shoulder cap tends to come off with that, so just detach one from the other. Get this, plug it in here, and plug it back. You have this entry plug socket attachment. To attach that, gently remove this part of the back and stick this in. There are 3 pegs there, corresponds to the 3 slots in here. You also get this full-length entry plug. Now the socket is shallow, so you can't really insert more than just this tip. If you want to simulate that the entry plug is all the way inserted, there is this entry plug tip. So stick it in there, and it looks like the entry plug is fully inserted. You also get this AT field effect, this umbilical cable. The cable itself is semi-posable. It only has the socket to the EVA. the other end leads to nowhere. And basically attaching this, there's the system of two tiny slots and one bigger slot here that looks like a surprised face, and basically you just plug this in there, line everything up and plug in. You also get 6 pairs of alternate hands. First, you have these fingers together, karate chop-ish hands, usually seen when Eva is sprinting. Let me show you how to put these on. Grab your figure at the wrist, gently remove, and there's this peg here, and guide this in there because again the joint is loose and it will wobble as you do this, so gently does it. Twisting, I think, helps. So there's one. And okay, there you have your karate chop hands. You also get these Fosse style jazz hands. You get these tensed AT field clawing hands. Now I'd demonstrate how to attach these hands to the AT field, but I have neither the patience nor the skill to do so. I'll just show that to you in pictures. You get these fists, clenched, closed fists. This pair of knife-wielding hands, or alternately thumbs-up hands. Wait, let me show you how. There. Knife-wielding hands. And the last pair of alternate hands are these gun-firing hands. Okay. I'd demonstrate this too with the Gatling gun, but that's a little difficult to put in here and pose because it's so heavy, and you need one of the open, maybe this clawing hand, or the relaxed hand, or maybe even the Fosse, the Bob Fosse hand, to cradle and help support the weight of that gun. And lastly, you get these instructions in Japanese and English. Single page, nothing at the back. Alright, let's talk articulation. Okay. The head is on a ball peg. Can look this far down, this far up, and can turn 360. The base of the neck is also, I believe, a ball peg. Let's see. Can go this far up, this far up, this far down, and can also turn E. Well, maybe not a good idea, but yeah. Let me see if I can get it all the way. Yep. Turns 3. Hold on. Yep. Turns 360. The shoulder, the pylons are wiggly waggly movable, and also easily, they actually pop off quite easily when you pose the arms, so I'll take them off right now. Let's see, the arms are, what are they? Let's see, they're okay, let's start with this. Okay, it gives you 360 like that. You can extend them all the way here. Twist them like that. Let's see. That is a ball joint, I believe, or is it a hinge? I'm not sure, but you can do whatever it is. You can do that with that. Again, that's all around, that far to the side, and all around. You have a double hinged elbow, first hinge, second hinge, and a bicep swivel. You can turn that 360. The torso, I cannot tell how many joints are in there. It's the traditional 3-section torso, but whatever joints are working are hidden by this black rubber tube. Let me just, okay, there. Can bend this far forward. Another problem is this chest piece is so prone to popping out. Okay, I'll put that back later. So yeah, it can bend this far forward, but the rubber tube comes undone when you bend it that far. So let's tuck that rubber casing back in. I believe there's, whoa, yeah, there's some sort of reverse ab crunch, but the rubber tubing, again, it comes off here at the front this time when you do that. Okay, tuck that back in and replace the breastplate. There is this joint at the upper torso. It gives you, I don't know how much. Oh my gosh. Alright, hold on. Now there's something you don't see every day. Okay, I advise against doing that. So yeah, there is a joint there, but yeah, don't do that. What else? The T-jointed ball joints for hips, I think, can split all the way there, and like that. And there's also this leg extension, so you can kick this far up, kick this far back. Okay, so those are leg extensions, and yeah, just collapse them if you want a more relaxed pose. The knee is a double hinge, gives you that far back. The knee attachment, let's see, yeah, that far back. The foot guard is on a ball peg. There is a toe hinge, and what else? The ankle is a, what is the ankle? It's a, yeah, it's a ball joint. Gets you 360, but some of that posing is awkward because the foot guard stays in place. And let's see, that is it for articulation. Let us move on to size comparisons. here is Mafex 080 with Kyoto Evangelion Evolution Figure Series 01, which is Test Type 01, with Bandai Limited Model HG Series 001 EVA-01 Test Type, with Tanaka Tony Robot Formers Streak, and with Funko Pop Death of the Endless. Now, let us discuss what else but my final thoughts. Alright, cons first and foremost is the price. It's around thrice the price of the Kyoto EVA, and yet it barely feels like an upgrade. Actually, in many areas it performs a lot worse than the Kyoto. Secondly, now, while I don't mind when figures that cannot support their own weight cannot stand unaided, what I can't stand is that this thing is so light and still it manages to collapse because of the looseness of its joints. Particularly the toes and the knees. What's more, you have the swapping out of alternate hands is difficult because you cannot steady the wrist joint as you plug in the hands. The shoulder pylons pop off way too easily. Same can be said of the chest piece, and I barely touched that. Attaching again, and another thing, attaching the AT field is just too difficult no matter how you do it, whether you attach the field to the hands first before attaching that to the main figure, or attaching the hands to the figure first before attaching those to the AT field. And it just has too many unruly moving parts to tame. And there are these questions of why, what was going on in the minds of the designers. I mean, why the alternate head with an open mouth? Why not just have one head with a hinged jaw? And if they really wanted an alternate head, maybe they could have gone with a battle damaged one with one blinded eye. Posing the figure with the Gatling gun is difficult because the arm joints can barely support the gun's weight. And another question is why the shallow entry plug socket? And why is it a separate piece? Judging from the figure, it's so light I suspect it to be hollow enough for a built-in entry plug socket that's deep enough for the entire length of the entry plug. And lastly, there's that black rubber case that conceals the torso joint or joints. I cannot tell how many there are because you can't see them. You can only guess how many there are and thus only estimate the range of articulation. I also suspect that the rubber case restricts articulation, and without it, the torso might actually bend farther forward and farther back. Pros, there are little, so it's actually can be summed up in height, posability, color and design. Well, 4, yeah, color and design, that's, I guess, 4. Final thoughts, this is pretty, but also pretty expensive, pretty high maintenance, and pretty fragile. The Kyoto EVA, on the other hand, despite being too dark and too glossy for my tastes, and also being too short, it actually feels more fairly priced, because despite it being less expensive, the stuff you can do with it is around the same level of what you can do with the Mafex, so it might prove the better deal. I don't think I can recommend this toy. It's just too frustrating to hold and play with. I think it works well as a display piece, but playing with it on a regular basis is just too tiring and frustrating. So that's all the tunes we have for today. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel, and like Robot Show Tunes on Facebook if it so please you. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, see you at the theater.